this is a teacher-to-teacher collaboration as a professional development in focus. It's my action research, which I did for 3 academic years and found it to be very successful. And I wrote a paper on it. So I really wanted to share this with like-minded people to really understand the value of how teacher-to-teacher collaboration helps in professional development and focus. So a little bit about me. I am a senior fellow in higher education from UK and currently pursuing my PhD. I hold masters in applied linguistics from UK as well, recipient of award of distinguished teaching, research and workshops. And my research interests include action research, digital teaching and innovative learning. So I'll be using a couple of words throughout my presentation. So I would like the attendees to get acquainted with those words. So one is collaboration. So here, collaboration, we keep on hearing about collaboration among the students, but here what I mean is with among the teachers, among our colleagues. So it's a systematic process in which teachers work together to analyze and impact professional practice in order to improve individual or collective results. So my action research took place in a lab classroom. And by a lab classroom, I mean where the co-teachers are doing something for the first time and others are observing with the intention to learn and achieve something. And the cohorts that I worked with were ESP teachers, English for specific purpose. And CLS here means communicative learning sessions. Right, so let me just quickly shed light on the literature that relates to collaboration among teachers. So here, Dufour et al. Advocates the fact that expanding collaborative activities to professional learning communities, he claims that, immerse unprecedented hope for schools and improvement of teaching, whereas improved self-efficiency and increased teaching effectiveness, Graham, Bunker, and Taylor really emphasize the fact that the effectiveness lasts for longer time, and it also gives the enhanced instructional quality were identified as positive outcome for teachers. Hence, moving on to Fullman in 2012 as a recent paper, and there were more collaborative and collegial profession promotes student outcomes. So we know we as teachers, it's not about teaching, it's about learning as well. Teaching and learning are married together, and we can't have that success in deliverance of a lesson unless the outcomes are achieved out of it. And then good collaborative structures for teachers to problem solve and learn together can favorably influence student progress. So we do go and attend conferences like TESOL Arabia, and we do our personal development as well through different workshops and courses. But this is something, a creative way where we can do our own professional development in-house, staying at our own workplaces. So like I said before, that by working collaboratively, teachers can create communities that positively change the culture and instruction of the entire grade level, department, school, or a district. So we're not restricting our development or the reflection of this development just to our institution where we're working on. It goes beyond that. So the common themes that could apply would be teacher interaction in a formal context, teacher interaction in informal context, school-wide, community-wide, deepen core knowledge and skills, and in-service professional development. So why would you ask, why did I go ahead and did this action research? Because there was a gap in the literature which really identified how I can do that. There is lots of emphasis put on, there should be a collaboration, there's success around it, but I never got a research design, so to speak, which guided me, how can I do this collaboration in my classroom? Yes, there are benefits. Yes, I could see that there was lots of support going on, but the question still kept on coming, how? How should I do that? So I can proudly say, even yesterday when I was, making my slides, I went through lots of literature to update this, if I can really put forward this stance. But I'm really proud to say that my research is first of its kind that investigated how that collaboration should take place. I designed a whole process to do it, and went through the reflection of how effective it was, especially data-driven research on collaboration, particularly in the context of Saudi Arabia, is non-existent. I know it's a bold statement, but if you know any, I'm happy to know and learn from you. So why did I do it? So let me give a little background about it. I was a coordinator for ESP, a course at my last institution where I was working, and the course had to be amped up a little bit, and the teachers had to develop the skills around the course. But I didn't want to go into a formal professional development with the same pattern of workshops and micro teaching or anything. I did a different collaborative aspect. And why did I want that? I fostered a supportive atmosphere and promote collegiality. Utilize the strengths and talents of the staff, and teachers had access to innovative teaching, and they learn from their peers. So for me, the Russell's et al. 2006 model of teaching collaboration had three specific formations of collaboration: exchange, synchronization, and co-construction. Like I said before, it was more about these suggestions. However, the research model was still not clear, but the keywords, what was a starting moment for me, how I can really design the collaboration model and move on to help the teachers and support their teaching and learning process. So as a result, this current study took a pragmatic approach to investigate the benefits of teacher-to-teacher collaboration and needs-based CLS in an informal environment. I wanted the teachers to be very comfortable and sitting in a very informal environment, and instruction-related criteria comprised elements of developing and preparing didactic success. And project-related tasks include lesson design, test preparations, lessons combination, planning, implementation throughout the CLS process. We all go through that process, you may ask, but this was in a very informal setting. I will show you and share your design in a while. So this was my research design. They were ESP teachers and 20 years and below in the EFL context experience. And we had the teacher-to-teacher collaboration. And to gauge the effectiveness of this collaboration, surveys were used. And like I said, lab classroom that we did all together, like a workshop environment where we sat together. I call it as a lab classroom where this action research or experimentation took place. So this is how it happened. Each session was 60 minutes long. We did it per semester. So every academic year, semester 1 and semester 2, the group 1 in week 1 shared the activities, and numbers of teachers presented. So you can see that's how the teachers were divided. So each teacher got a chance to share her ideas or activities that she felt was very successful and engaging for her students. And then week 2, group 2 presented, and they shared the activities. And this is how the whole process went on for 3 academic years, but obviously the cohorts of the teachers kept on changing according to the course assignment for each one. So like I said, it was the enhancement of teaching and learning, improved examination results, promoted course development, better outcomes for the students, and developed lots of skills. It was not about just developing or learning an activity. Oh, I can do that by just attending a workshop. But sometimes, doing hands-on activities. So the purpose was that the teachers could do that activity, and we, as part of that CLS classroom, were like students. And she demonstrated that activity that we were able to learn hands-on while we were there. And it helped us to recycle it immediately right after that CLS session in our classroom. So we could see success right away. The enforcement and reinforcement and recycling of the activities took place right away, probably very next day in the classroom. So it also eased the teachers who were the first timers to this course. It helped them to adjust through the course as well. They were able to get very innovative and creative activities from their teachers, their co-workers, and sometimes we have shy teachers who really shy out and they don't want to come out their shell and ask, oh, please, I need help, or I really need some activities to, engage my students. So this was a best way to do it and have that involvement in the classroom and with the teachers in the CLS sessions. So then we had questions around, why am I doing it? So my first question was, are CLS beneficial for teachers of shared interest? I'm saying here shared interest because we were all ESP teachers in that course. Are CLS practical for professional growth? Because it was really important that rather having individual workshops or directing them, oh, please go to this mandatory workshop or attend this thing, I thought, why don't I, as a coordinator, develop a system that helps them for their professional growth? Can collaborative learning sessions be inspiring and motivating for teachers? We all know nothing can be inspiring and motivating until we have something beneficial or something that engage them into those sessions. And to what extent did CLS result in improved learning outcomes? So of course, we just don't want an input that does not have a learning outcome on the student side. They should be able to see the difference. They should be able to be more engaged and more effective in their learning process. So the only tool used to collect data were questionnaires. So here, by collecting data, I mean after the CLS sessions, the teachers were asked to fill an anonymous questionnaire that helped me really understand whether my action research was successful or not. So can I do it for the rest of the semesters or not? So of course, the main themes that were highlighted throughout the questionnaire was not negating the fact that the professional development sessions are useful. I didn't even literally shove them out of the window saying, oh, don't go to this workshop or don't go to this conference. Of course, these sessions are useful 100%, but of course you have something that is more intimate, is more informal context that can be done in the classroom or together at the institution where we work. Highlighting the aspect of practicality. So like today, I am presenting on Zoom. I really intended to come personally, but we have this flexibility, why not? So I'm still presenting. So this practical aspect is very important. Teachers' attitude towards self-reflection and improvement. So I really didn't want them to feel, oh, it's mandatory for them to attend and they really don't need it. They really had to self-reflect and understand there was some room of improvement in their teaching process. Teachers' views and thoughts about CLS experience. So after that whole process we went to, they really felt that there was a need that this could be repeated, or I should just stop here. It was too much of a burden for them. They already had lots of workload to do. And then the prospects of future collaboration. Can we still continue these sessions or not? So here, from now, I will show you the parts of my questionnaire, which were according to the themes like I showed you earlier. And I have made my drafts very user-friendly and readable for everyone to understand. And here you can see that the professional development sessions are useful. So most professional development are relevant. And if you can see, like 67% agreed to the fact, the green part, they agreed to the fact, yes, they are relevant. There are enough professional development offered in my field. And again, a higher number, the green part shows, but almost near to the yellow part were not sure, because we have lots of professional development, but at times they're not offered in our field. We keep on looking for things, especially for ESP purpose. We do get workshops that are generally about teaching. We do get workshops that are generally just for developing teaching and learning. But especially for ESP teaching, were there any opportunities? So, we had conflicting thoughts around that. Then the usefulness of professional development sessions themselves. So most professional development sessions are relevant, yes. And then again, most professional development workshops and seminars serve as a mechanism to improve my teaching. And yes, of course, they do improve our teaching. 83% agreed, and 1% disagreed. So improve teaching, yes, we learn the skills, of course, why not? But again, going back to the previous question, they were not tailor-made to the needs of these teachers. Highlighting the aspect of practicality, what obstacles are there to your participation in professional development. So it was difficult to find time. It was difficult to find relevant workshop for myself or specify others. These were the open-ended and close-ended questions. I'm too busy. So, and then inconvenient timings was the largest response to, like 67% said is inconvenient times. So we are different time zones. Sometimes we really want to attend, but because of the time or because of the class time, weekdays, weekends, personal commitments, the inconvenience of time was the largest response to this question. Followed by most professional development sessions are sustained over time. So interestingly, 67% was not sure. And they were like, okay, sustained over time because they were not relevant. And they did learn something. They found it was interesting. But again, the relevance and the practicality over sustained time was not there. Highlighting the aspect of practicality of CLS. Now, just specifying to the collaborative learning sessions, they went through as an action research and can be beneficial for teachers who are reluctant to ask for help. And you can see 67% agreed. It's a high percentage, more than half of the teachers agreed, saying, yes, it is beneficial. So this was something, an encouragement for me that I might be doing something good here, while 17% strongly agreed. So if we take a combination, almost 80% teachers agreed to the fact, yes, they were successful and they were happy with this collaborative learning sessions. And then again, collaborative lessons can be beneficial for teachers who are embarrassed or unwilling to admit that they are struggling. I think in our heart and mind, we do know that we go through this reluctance of help and we are embarrassed and unwilling to admit that we are struggling. But this was in such a comfortable, informal environment that everybody chipped in. They were not shy if they're making mistakes. And we all, really enjoyed, we really learned from each other. And even the shy ones were literally participating. They helped us to learn so much from them that we never knew they had that talent. The hidden talent kept coming out. And if you can see here, the percentage again, the blue and green is strongly agree to the fact that they are embarrassed or unwilling to admit that they were struggling. But these CLS sessions were really beneficial in that case as well. Then we comes to the teacher's attitude towards self-reflection and improvement. As you can see, it was 100% response to this question. I would like opportunities to advance professionally. There was a willingness, but again, the practicality, the timing, the relevance kept on, stopping them, or there was some kind of hurdle that they were unable to cross to develop themselves professionally and develop their skills. Then teachers are comfortable with the practical way of working and are reluctant to expand or change. We had a mixed response to this. They were not sure. They were reluctant to expand or change. They were happy to do it, but again, the opportunities were not as they wanted to be or not according to their liking. So now it was just specifically for CLS, teachers' views and thoughts about CLS experience, reflecting on the collaborative learning sessions you were engaged in. So it is again increased my effectiveness in classroom, improved my knowledge skills, positive and lasting impact, and worth my time to attend. If you are really attending something, it has to be worthwhile. It should improve my skills. It should increase my effectiveness in the classroom. It goes back to the research questions that was shared earlier. So I really need to answer my research questions, go in for this kind of a question that really reflected on the effectiveness of this research. And if you can see, increased my effectiveness in class was the largest response I got, followed by improve my knowledge, positive and lasting impact on my career, and worth my time to attend. So we were achieving what we wanted, and the outcomes were also effective in that way. So here are some qualitative responses from the open-ended questions when the ESP teachers commented on future prospects of they really want me to use these sessions again with them. So I think CLS should be regularly conducted, and 90% of these supported the idea of CLS by saying it's always good to refresh your expertise with such sessions. They are needed. So this was again a very encouraging moment for me when I saw these responses on this questionnaire, that this open-ended questions really reflected on the effectiveness of teacher-to-teacher collaboration sessions and as a professional development at this workplace. Now came the effectiveness again, an opportunity to share ideas with team members in CLS is very inspiring and motivating. And like you can see, 67% agreed to the fact. They agreed to the fact, yes, they were inspiring and motivating. Well, we had a mix of, agreement as well. Well, it happens, but I can say more than 50% agreed to the fact they were inspiring and motivating. And here, collaborative learning sessions sustain formal and informal learning communities. Although there was an informal interaction among the teachers, but they had that formal aspect as well when they were presenting, as you can say, like a mini lesson or a mini activity as well, sharing the resources, and that helped us to really have an informal environment as well in those sessions. So what are the implications for teachers and policymakers? So in the modern teaching, praxis is now thoroughly permeated with a productivity ethos. We cannot just say, oh, I have hundreds of certificates, or I've done this workshop, I'm an expert in teaching. For me, if you say that, it's like a debt to your teaching career. You really have to be, improving yourself and upgrading your skills throughout over the years. And you cannot just say, oh, I'm productive enough when it is not effective there. So why do we need the CLS sessions when I have enough PD around me? It amplified the institutional academic rigor. CLS Resources Bank was the largest and the biggest bank we created over a short period of time. So in a shared drive, whatever activity was shared in the CLS sessions was shared. Even it had a PowerPoint there or a quick game or a flashcard. Teachers happily shared their resources. And imagine the resource bank that we all lack at our institutions was created in a short period of time. They were able to recycle it the very next day. And they were so happy. They found the effectiveness there. Endorses teacher-to-teacher collaboration, remedial interventions bearing gains for teaching and learning. The need analysis was there. The thought of the process was there. But why don't we go into the remedial intervention and see if it works or not? And the most important thing was it was pre-COVID times. So it was the pre-pandemic wavered scales to post-pandemic times. By this, I mean the teachers and the cohorts were so used to using technology, presenting and everything that their post-pandemic times really reflected the CLS effectiveness to them. They had that skills developed, that they were not in a mayhem when most of the teachers were in watershed when pandemic hit us. We had to go online. We had to go into emergency teaching. We had to really move on a quick pace. So we were not sitting there scratching our heads. We were skilled enough. We were developed enough in our deliverance online as well as technology skills.
Sorry to interrupt. 5 more minutes.
Yes, I'm almost done. Thank you.
Sorry.
So what's the conclusion then? In an institution where teachers work collaboratively, students can sense program coherence with the consistency of expectations, which may explain the improved behavior and achievement that results from collaboration. Teacher collegiality avoids the sink or share or trial and error mode that the new teachers usually face. It brings experience and new teachers closer together to enforce the competence. Fundamentals of career growth rely on the involvement in professional development to upgrade skills and caters fast-paced changing trends. Prior expertise in post-pandemic practice delve deeper into pedagogical justification for employing technologies. Community of practice, this was something very important. Delivery of the lesson kept students engaged, enhanced their life learning skills, and continued to perform well academically. Well, thank you. Thank you for listening. I'm open for any questions. These are my emails, and if I'm happy to answer anything or you have to know further about this research. Thank you, Melanie.
Thank you.
Thank you.